To be honest, I think a big part of like our problem not doing good is first of all like synergy. Like I don't feel like we had that good of a synergy like all together.
Yeah, and you became like from decent to one of the most dominant players all time.
I didn't end up making it, so that was of course like heartbreaking. Like no one expected it, and I also didn't expect it. To be honest, like it affected quite a lot like my mental state because I was so confident back then, and then not qualifying to World Finals, which was like a dream of mine. Yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking. I actually basically entered CRL as being one of the champions, and then not even making playoffs. Like definitely brought up a lot of like tension within the team.
You were the one who were guilty to jinx pain game.
Yes, the gambit is good. 2 shots for the princess, and that's gonna be it, Rummy. A rocket comes out for Surgical Goblin, as Surgical Goblin wins game 5, and the kicks come too. They're rushing the stage. Team Queso is rushing the stage. Surgical Goblin is bouncing up and down. Crash with Magic holding him.
Fala galera, estamos de volta, temporada 2 do Lamp Talk Show e volta completa pro YouTube depois de uma temporadinha aí off, mas agora eu voltei com tudo, pode ter certeza, e voltamos com o vídeo, a entrevista mais esperada, a que eu tô mais ansioso, o dono dessa camisa aqui, que eu estou vestindo no momento, ele mesmo, a lenda, o maior jogador da história do Clash Royale, Surgical Goblin. And I'm gonna introduce one of the biggest friends I made on this game, the GOAT, the greatest of all time in my opinion, so but we're gonna talk about it while in this video. I'm sorry if my English is a little bit rusty, it's been a long time, but right now we have him, Surgical Goblin. Hi my friend, how are you? Such an honor to have you right here.
Yeah, what's up, bro? I'm good, bro. I'm a little bit tired. Like right now, it's kind of late here, but besides that, I'm doing really good. Long time no talk. What about you, bro? How are you?
I'm good. But two things. First, it's been a long time that I don't talk this English, so I'm a little bit rusty. And on the other hand, I'm kind of nervous because you're such a great friend, and we have such great memories together. So we're gonna have to talk about all of this. But
Yeah, for sure.
But firstly, I'm gonna ask you, because when I ask people don't do this. Can you ask them to smash the like button? Because when you ask, people do.
Like e subscreve. Obrigado.
Perfect. Galera, dá o like, deixa o like, se inscreve. Se vocês querem mais conteúdo assim, com Surgical Goblin, com outros, com qualquer outras pessoas, independentemente da língua, vamos estar trazendo. Então dá aquela moral pra nós, se inscreve. E se a gente bater a marca de 1000 likes aí, vamos trazer a segunda parte que vai estar mais pra frente, mas a gente vai falar sobre isso. So Frank, can I call you Frank or have to call you Surgical Goblin?
Nah, you can call me Frank. I don't care.
And my first question is about that. It's about the little Frankie before this year, because you became Surgical Goblin, but you were born like Frank. And how was your childhood before the Clash Royale? What were your perspectives back then?
Chilling, good. I don't know. Like I used to just normal life, like just go to school. I used to play sports like pretty competitively, like badminton. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play badminton like pretty competitively when I was younger. And besides that, just like normal life, like just go to school, go out with like family, friends, etc., etc. Like back then, when I was younger, I was also gaming quite a lot, to be honest. Not professionally, like for example now, as I used to do in Clash Royale. But with my brother, like I have an older brother, and he showed me a lot of different games, like on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, etc., etc. Like I always gamed with him. So yeah, that's basically my childhood, like really shortly.
Amazing. And how did you start on the CR world?
I don't know, just as a casual, to be honest. Like I just started playing for fun. I used to play Clash of Clans before that. Like I was playing Clash of Clans kind of serious.
Everybody that I've asked this question is like 90% I went from the Clash of Clans.
Yeah, exactly. Like I used to play Clash of Clans. Then I saw like a video. I don't remember from who. From a YouTuber I was watching. It was like new game, Clash Royale, etc., etc. And I was like, let's try it. And then the first time I tried it, after that day, I didn't stop for a long time. Like every day, just play a lot, practice a lot, and of course, like I'm a pretty competitive person, so I always wanted to like improve and do good. But I never really thought that I would like become a professional player at one moment or like do good in tournaments or something like that, you know?
And that's amazing. And I know this history, but I'm gonna ask you how you became Surgical Goblin. It's from an attack from Clash of Clans, right? Something like this. Can you explain? Because people ask a lot, Surgical Goblin from where?
Yeah, to be honest, like Surgical, I remember like when I used to play Clash of Clans, there were like war attacks, and like one of the names of the strategy was like Surgical Go-Ho. So I took the first part like Surgical, and Goblin was just like kind of random, to be honest. I didn't really have a meaning. Yeah, like I don't know, I just liked the name and I just put it.
Amazing. When did you notice you were like better than the others? You were like kind of good on Clash Royale?
I remember, I don't know if you were playing back then, but this is like in the OG times, like 15K tournaments.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, like I used to play them, and to be honest, I wasn't even that good at that moment. Like I wasn't doing amazing. I remember one tournament, there was like a Chinese like tournament, like a qualifier to go to a live event in Shanghai. And I got top 2 in one of those tournaments. And back then, like getting top, like let's say like 5 in one of those tournaments is already pretty good. So when I got top 2, I was super happy. And I actually noticed that I was, pretty good at the game. Obviously not like a pro player, but yeah, decent, I guess.
Yeah, and you became like from decent to one of the most dominant players all time. You were one of the most dominant players in the scene, in the beginning of the scene. And you became like for years and a good while the best in the world, and you were recognized by that. And can you tell me more about it on your first tournaments? I remember when I was like just a fan, I was like, this Surgical Goblin, he can't lose. Because I remember you went on a streak, like winning all of the face-to-face events. I don't know if, of course, you remember, but you were like a beast.
Yeah,
when you came to play, you won. And I saw your face like playing all coldly, looking the eyes of in the opponent. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to play this guy ever. And can you tell me a little more about it? The beginning of your career, of your pro career.
To be honest, I actually got really lucky. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I've ever told you.
I'm really lucky now. No, don't give me that.
Sorry. No, listen. So, like, I don't know if you know about like ESWC, like the tournaments in Paris.
Yes.
But they were qualifiers. So as I said, like I was like kind of competitive, but not really. So I was just playing for fun and stuff. And I was scrolling on Twitter. Okay. And on Twitter, I saw like an announcement of like a qualifier to one of those ESWC tournaments. Okay. So I was like, sure, why not? Like, let's just play it. Like, maybe I will do good. And let's say like top 8. Like, there's a bracket of, let's say, like 1,000 players. And top 8 advances to the live part, like in Paris. And I got like top 10. So I didn't qualify. So I was like, oh, I was so close. Like, no problem, next time better, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then a few days later, I get an email saying that 2 participants have been disqualified because I don't remember the reason. So they said, like, congratulations, you qualified. So I was like, what? No way. So I went to my parents. I told them, like, look, I qualified to Paris. They say they're going to pay everything, and my parents were like, "What? to play a mobile game? Like what? They're
gonna kidnap you."
Yeah, so they were like, "What? To where? Like Paris? Do you have more info, etc., etc.?" So then I actually ended up going there with my dad, and I actually got second in that event. Like nobody, like some people knew me already, but not that many people. And I remember back then I was like using kind of like strange decks, like my self-made decks, like Minor Rocket, a lot of X-Bow decks. And like back then, that was kind of like
who was the most known player back then?
I think it was Ming. Like he also won another event in Shanghai, like the tournament I told you, like the qualifiers. He actually won that event, so he went from like winning Shanghai to going to Paris and also winning.
Okay.
And there were also some other players, like I don't remember, like quite a lot, like Max Lamenas and like some other like pretty good people. But yeah, I was basically like an unknown player back then, and then I got second in that event, and that's basically where everything started. Like people started following me on Twitter. They said like, "Wow, like you have such an interesting like playstyle. Like, what is those decks? Could you maybe make a YouTube channel like explaining?" So I made a YouTube channel, but like with really bad quality, like a screen recorder on my mobile. You know, like the free like apps to screen record.
Yeah.
And also like some shitty headset, like my audio and everything was like horrible. But yeah, basically back then like everything started, and from that moment everything started going upwards.
I remember one of those tournaments. You played the ESWC. I don't know if it was like really next, but you played the. I forgot the name of the tournament. King of Kings. No, it's
King's Cup.
King's Cup. The King's Cup.
Yeah, King's Cup.
And
yeah.
I don't know the importance of the tournament on your career, but I really think it was one of your biggest moments. And here in Brazil, it was
of course.
one of the biggest moments that you became known here, because it was against Achin. And I want you to talk about it. How was that tournament? Because I remember you celebrated a lot. I know you a lot, and it was really one of the moments I saw you screaming the most.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, to be honest, if I think about like the most important events, it's definitely like in my top 3, like most important events. Like as you said, like at that moment I was celebrating so much, and like still like until the day of today, like it still had a lot of impact, because also as you said, like Brazil, like a lot more people started following me. Like I definitely noticed a lot like after I started winning, and just the event itself was also really amazing. Like it's always nice to be able to like meet people, meet friends, and just compete in front of people. Like it's always been like one of my favorite things to do. Like I don't know, personally, I think I play better when I'm on stage than when I'm playing from home.
Everybody knows that. You became like you become a beast, unbeatable beast on the stage. And do you remember your team back there on this competition? It was like
it was like Viva La Spark. Like the format was like one YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Tell me
exactly. Like one YouTuber, which was, I think it was Clash with Ash. Yeah, Clash with Ash. And it was like one invited like pro player, which was like I back then, and then one qualifier. And we were actually one of the last, if not the last, I think, to pick. And that was Vulcan.
No, you got lucky.
No, he was actually the last player like to be able to pick. Like I remember, like
really
none of the other people. Like none of the other people picked him, because I remember you had to do like a 2 versus 2 against the other teams, and then whoever like won more was able to pick like players first.
Okay.
But we actually lost our 2v2, like me and Ash, and then we
like the
we ended
NBA
up with
draft.
Vulcan. Yeah, basically. And it ended up working out really well actually.
Yes, I remember a lot the last match, you against Achin. Him with his lava dark goblin and you with your log bait. Is really remember.
Log one trick.
Yeah, you were like a log bait one trick back then. I don't know if you're like one trick, but you were the like player known for your log bait.
Yeah, for sure.
Back then, I don't know if it was like after or before this event we just talked, but we had the CCGS World Finals, and it was really shocking for everyone because you weren't there. And how was that for you?
I mean, as you said, like everyone expected me to be there. Like I think no one really expected me to not qualify, because in that year I won basically, I think, all the individual tournaments like ESWC. I think there was one CCGS before, which was in America.
Yes.
Like I won that one, but with that CCGS, like there wasn't the World Finals. Exactly. So I won that CCGS, and then the other CCGS,
you lost
which
to
was
Lupangi, I think. You lost to Lupangi, the next one, I think.
Exactly. Like the second edition was like to be able to qualify for the World Finals, and then I ended up, as you said, like losing to Lupangi. I didn't end up making it, so that was of course like heartbreaking. Like no one expected it, and I also didn't expect it. To be honest, like it affected quite a lot, like my mental state, because I was so confident back then, and then not qualifying to World Finals, which was like a dream of mine. Was definitely heartbreaking. It actually affected me as well, like a couple of months after that, like what's it called, like gameplay wise, like I started playing like a bit worse, like confidence wise, like it definitely broke me a bit. But then I don't know if already like in that moment I started talking with Eric, like EB7, but he definitely helped me a lot, like with confidence wise and just in general, like gameplay wise a lot.
Amazing. And we all know that one of your major qualities is your mental health, your mental strength. Because when you, like we said, when you get on stage, you just erase everything that is going on, and you just focus on your game and you play like you become Surgical Goblin. I'm pretty sure it was like heartbreaking for you to not be playing, but you were there. You were there, and I was there too. I don't know if you remember, but I have already shown. Yeah, I took a photo with you, like a fan photo. I remember I was like there, and I went to with my friend. I was like starting my coach career. I was coach of Nova Brazil, and then we went there to see the show, to enjoy and to know more about the scene. And I was like, it was like me here, my friend there, and we were like, oh, look who's there. Who's like two rows ahead of us. It's Surgical Goblin. And you were not playing. So we were thinking, maybe it's okay if we go there and ask him to take a photo with us. And he was like, no, don't do that, man. Don't do that. I was like, you know what? I probably will never see him again. So I just have to take my chance. But when I was thinking, somebody thought first, and it was like a line. I don't know if you remember, but it was like it had a line. Imagine everybody was playing, and meanwhile they were playing. Surgical was like standing up on the crowd. It was a line on the crowd, and everybody just wasn't watching the gameplay at the moment. I don't remember who were playing right in the time, but you were like, okay, you took a photo with one, and everybody just rose up.
Exactly.
Okay, if he got, that's our chance. So I stand on the line. You took a photo. Everybody took a photo with you. And I remember also when this event finished, Sergio Ramos won, and he was from Nova, and I was with my Nova Brazil shirt, and they were like kicking out everybody from the event, but I wasn't kicked out because I was with Nova shirt, but it wasn't the same thing, but they let me in. So I took part with Adrian and everybody. It was really nice. That's where I got my first contact with you, but we ended up having some more contacts from there.
For sure.
After all of the individual tournaments, individual scene, the scene evolved. We can talk like this, and we had the CRL. It was like the major tournament of all time in Clash Royale, and of course you were the biggest name to play, and everybody was where Surgical is going, and you went to Liquid, one of the biggest organization ever, and with Diego and Azilis and Buffmac ended up joining, I think, and Juicy J, I think. The first season, the EU.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Juicy,
I'm pretty sure it was like because we had a combine. I don't know if you remember. We had a combine.
True. Yeah, both Mike and Juicy were like the combine players, and me, Azilis, and Diego were like I don't remember the name.
I forgot, but okay, like the main players and the combine player.
Exactly,
Legacy player.
Legacy. Yeah. Try.
But you didn't do well, and a lot of questions started being asked, and I want you to tell us the whole truth behind the scenes. What happened to the first Liquid, the first CRL that you didn't do any good?
To be honest, I think a big part of like our problem not doing good is first of all like synergy. Like I don't feel like we had that good of a synergy like all together. Azilis like most of the times wasn't like going out with us, wasn't really involved like in a team. I think if you want to do good as a team, you need to be like all together and like doing things together, having fun together and growing as a team, you know? And then another really important thing, which I think was like one of the main reasons we didn't do good as well, was like that we didn't have a coach.
Yeah.
Like my thought process back then was like, why would we take a coach if we already know like what we are better at the coach? Like if a coach would be better than us, he wouldn't be a coach, you know? But back then, like I was just stupid because I didn't realize like a coach would just help you in so many different ways. Like for example, making schedules.
That stupid thought was in a lot of players' head. Because as a coach, I suffered a lot in the beginning. Because players were like, "Why am I gonna listen to him? I'm really better than him." So
yeah, exactly. And like back then, I don't know, I was like very busy because I was trying to schedule everything, like making scrims against different players at different times. Like back then, like we would, for example, play like in the night against Asia, in the morning against, I don't know, like specific teams, like every day against different teams. At the same time, we had to watch out that no one would like leak the decks. Like, who can we trust, etc., etc. So I had a lot of things in my head. Also back then, I had a girlfriend, so I don't know. I had like too many things in my head, in my opinion, and that just ended up like not working out that good in the first season.
I talked with Lucas, and he told me a bit of having a girlfriend and the impact of your gameplay. Do you think it had something to do with you back then?
I mean, it depends like how you divide it. Like if you're not too focused, like it also depends like about your girlfriend, you know, like if she's understandable, etc. But obviously if she's asking attention like 24/7, like you're not able to give that, you know. So I think it just depends like on the situation. But back then it definitely affected me, like especially with all the other things like on my head, like it was just too much.
And one thing after that, I don't remember the seed the position you finished the CRL. I was like, it was like 7th, I don't know, something like that.
It was actually pretty close. Like
yeah,
I remember to make playoffs.
6th.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't remember like top how much goals. But if we did good, like the game again,
you went on a comeback.
G2.
You went on a comeback in the end.
Yeah, we almost made a comeback actually, but then the Fairtje thing, like the Fairtje signal, yeah, that basically messed it up, like the comeback.
After that, I can talk because I was really close to you on that time. If you want, you don't have to answer. But I remember one of the things they brought up was to move you as a coach. Do you remember the thing? They were wanting to move as a coach. Like
me?
Do you remember this talk? But it was like, no, surgical.
Not really as a coach, but more like no, not really as a coach, but more like just like kind of kick me like from the team.
Yes, you guys had a lot of internal issues. Like to rebuild the team for the next seasons. Ended up working. Like we're gonna talk about further, but before, I want you to talk about more the behind the scenes thing that nobody ever know. That people didn't want you back there. Do you remember before you gave them a world championship? You weren't counted that much.
Yeah, like I don't know. Obviously, not doing good. Like we basically entered CRL as being one of the champions. And then not even making playoffs, like definitely brought up a lot of like tension within the team, a lot of questions, like people kind of pointing at each other. So there was definitely like a lot of things like not really clear. But then we just realized like we should start looking for like a coach. And that is when like EV7 started coming in. Also like he suggested to try and get like a new player. And Kana actually had a really good like first season with G2. So then we actually ended up getting Canario like in our team, and that ended up working out really, really good.
Yes, after that you started a new liquid with you, Canario, Diego, and Buffmac. The first season. It was the first season or the second season that you came back like from 1-4 to not losing anymore. It was the first or the second?
First season.
Yeah,
I think the first season.
I think it was the first season because you were the one who were guilty to jinx Pain Gaming, because I brought you to my home, to my house when you were like, no, everything's not working out here. We are you were like on the last spot, I think 1-4, 1-5, something like this.
Yeah.
And we were talking a lot. I said, no, you can come here. We freshen up your mind. We're gonna talk about.
That was nice.
And that was nice for you. I want you to talk about this jinx situation that you did. Can you talk about a little bit more to the public?
I don't know. I remember like we were doing like really bad in the tournament. As you said, I don't remember the exact score, but like 1-5, 1-4. We're basically at the bottom of the leaderboard. So I was like super angry, kind of like tilted. And I remember like also like just to get a bit of distraction, like you and me were like really close during that season. Like I think we were calling like every day, talking a lot, practicing a lot, etc., etc. So I went to your house to like chill with you, with the boys. I remember like playing some games. We went out to have dinner, etc.
And we were 5-1. We were the top one team back there.
Exactly.
And they were the last.
Exactly. And we were just like, as I said, like just chilling, hanging out, etc. And talking a bit, and it definitely like helped a lot. Like, as I said, like you and me were definitely really close. So you also helped me a lot, like during CRL and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you jinxed us. When Frank moved out, he came back to Liquid's house. They started winning, and we started losing. We had an internal tilt. We didn't win any more games. They started winning every single match. So until today, I'm waiting on my PayPal, my half of the prize that Surgical won, and it was like some fun story to remember. E aqui a gente vai finalizando a primeira parte. Se você quiser a segunda parte, tem muita coisa ainda da carreira dele pra você saber. Tem que bater like aqui, 1000 likes. Peço pra vocês divulgarem, compartilharem, que ajuda demais nossa volta do YouTube. Preciso muito de vocês. And my English people too, can you smash the like button? Because if we hit 1000 likes, we bring up the part 2. Right, Frank? Tell them to smash this like button.
Hit that like button, guys. Let's go.
E é isso, galera. Muito obrigado pela sua companhia. Agradecer também o Surgical Goblin por estar aqui. Frank, thank you so much for being here. And I want to say like ciao for everybody and thanks so much for being here, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the invitation, bro. I had a lot of fun.